Hello, everybody. How's it going, everybody? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, sorry, everybody. I was trying to share the thing to the other page over there for a second, so it took a minute. But before we even start talking or anything, if you can hear me, drop a number one in the comment section so I can see it, so I know that I know that we're all here. Good lord. Oh Lord, I do, y'all. It's been a minute. Okay, we got ones coming in. Alrighty, alrighty. Oh, hello, Emily. Everybody, give a lovely welcome to Emily, our moderator, our in-house moderator. Our lovely Emily. If you followed us for a while, then you would have met Emily on one of our live chats at CrimeCon. That's the first time I got to meet her. She's a very wonderful human being, and I'm honored to know her. And oh, whoops! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I had a fan running. Thank you. Okay, fans off. That should be better. And see, Father, it's show time for me. Hello, everybody. Roscoe is very feisty because sadly, this is usually our bedtime at this point in life, y'all. So he has been standing at the edge of the door, barking at me like, hello. It's what are we still doing up, Dad? It's time to be snuggled. So I've got our little blankie, I've got my little puppy, and who's all wrapped up in the volume thing. Here. Ooh, hold on. Let's reset. And I had for a little pick me up, I do have my coffee and for what we're talking about today, y'all, we're going to need the can't roll your eyes hard enough because my eyes are going to roll into the back of my damn head over this one, y'all. But anyways, hello. I hope everybody's doing well. How's everybody out there? Hey, Isabel. Hey, Sasha. Hey, AK. Hey, Emily again. Um, Hey, Amanda Warner, True Crime with Amanda Warner. How is it going? And hello again to Emily. Chrissy Lee, how are you? It's good to see your face and your name. I hope you're well. Hey, Jennifer M, what's up? Roscoe said thank you for the sofa. So, hey, Cement Shoes, how's it going? It's good seeing you. Um, so, y'all, this is what we're doing. We are going to be, hey, True Crime and DIY Fells. We're going to be talking about escaping true hold on escaping hold on I can't say it now I can't say it right. Escaping Twin Flames on Netflix. There, I don't know why it was so hard for me. And this is, if you haven't ever been on one of my live chats, this is obviously live chat. This is the podcast channel. Make sure you're sub to it. Is a different channel than the other channel. I reserve this channel for stuff like this, like going live and whatnot. And so I'll do that over here on this channel. And sometimes I'll go live in the main channel, but mostly I'll do it over here. So just make sure you're subbed to both of them. And this, I don't go that, I don't do much over on this channel that often. I'm trying to get better about it, but life happens and whatnot. So if you are new to this, I will be doing a edited video on this documentary. So if you don't like the vibe of the live chat, because I know a lot of people don't, it's like, because I stop and I talk and it's very casual, that type thing, don't worry, I'm doing the edited version of this. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to come to a live chat, because I was gathering up I've been watching the documentary, I've been reading a bunch of different articles and people who've done some like journalistic type, things into it or whatever, and research, interviews and that type thing. And I was like, this is just I can't. I was like, so we just need to go ahead and talk about it, okay? So that being said, trigger warning, because I just feel like we need it for some reason for this, okay? Here is the thing. So basically what this is about is, whether you want to call it a cult or not, whatever, but it's a vibe, okay? And twin flames is like this concept that you have a twin flame out there. It's like, this is your, you complete each other, that type thing, right? And so it's that, going off that basis. Twin flame universe is something that was started by this couple. We'll get into more of the deets. I'm going to be sharing some screen shares and stuff like that with y'all. They started this, and the basis, to me, is, everybody, for the most part, at some point in your life thinks, I want to have that person. I want to, you know, find my person, my whatever. This is a normal thing. We're human beings, we're social creatures, right? I get it. Except for me, Father. Well, except for Rotzko, okay. But he's kind of just a one person type thing. But I guess I'm his twin flame. Okay. Um, so there's that. That is the basis of it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to find your person, right? This is normal, okay? However, okay, the pipeline from that to this dude saying he's the second coming of Jesus Christ and the things that were going on is insane. Okay, it is. I cannot roll my damn eyes hard enough. We must drink it from the cuppeth. Okay, so there's that. So I just want to be clear on that because I don't want to be sitting here like I'm ripping on people who want to find their person and oh, who's completes me or that kind of thing, right? That's normal, that's fine. But where these people have taken this to is next level. Also, and this is, I speak for myself, but I hope this extends to the comment section and everything, is this is still actively going on. Okay, like we're going to be looking at their website. We could, if we wanted to, sign up for classes. We actually kind of went over this already in one of the our member Patreon chat, but that was like a week ago, I think. And so I've been diving more into like articles on it and stuff like that. So if you were part of that, this might be a little bit repeatish to you, and I apologize, but there'll be some new stuff get lowered. So the and I don't even know if you want to call it. So the victims, basically, the people who have been duped, who have been taken in, they are still actively, some of them are still in this, and their family members are mourning their loss because they've been cut off and that type thing. So while there is this one side, like for me, there's a side of me that I literally want to come to the TV screen and shake these people and be like, what are you doing? Turn your computer off and walk away from it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but on the other note, these are people's children who have quit talking to them over this BS that they're being, sold or whatever. So just keep that in mind, that this is still actively going on. People are mourning the loss of these people we're going to be talking about because they've shut them out, right? This is very classic behavior that we see in these high control groups of, they bring them in and then all of a sudden, up, your family member's going against us. Well, you can't talk to them anymore, and it's heartbreaking and it's frustrating to hear that. Now, some of the people have gotten out of the group and, they're telling their stories and sharing them. And so again, it's one of those things where just keep in mind that they have, seen the ways or whatever, their errors, or whatever, come to light. It's also a very interesting, I don't know how you say it, but like essentially like this, because a lot of this is not like they're not in person. They're not being held captive. I mean, literally, I was talking to somebody in the comments there somewhere. It's like you can literally just turn the computer off and walk away from this. Okay. Like it's to that level where it's like, just as the kids say, go touch grass. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, turn the computer off and go touch grass. And so that part of it is very frustrating. I don't know. I'm just trying to be like nice about it, I guess you could say. Um, just keep all that in mind or whatever, right? That, this is actively going on. There's a dynamic of it's going on. This is that. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay. What's psychologically fascinating is because it is a scenario of you can just turn the computer off, it speaks to the testament of how powerful the mind control part of this is. And some of the people in the documentary will speak of that, of, finally come to that realization of what are we so afraid of losing? Like, what are we so afraid of when they finally start coming to, when this crazy stuff that they're asking them to do towards the end, and it's like, what are we afraid of? And so it's interesting because, like, when you look at these things like David Koresh and, that type thing is where they're like actively in this place, or the what's the name, Jim Jones, where they're on an island, they're secluded, they're physically like that. Make no mistake, this group was headed or is headed in that direction because they're looking for like these major like meeting halls to get in there, all move in there, and like scary stuff. Okay. And yes, it has real world implications, but also it speaks to the level of spending way too much time on the internet and how that can become too real, if that makes sense. Because that was the theme that I saw during this whole thing, where it was like, yikes, like, know, and not just this, any community, right? You see this happen where these like very cliquish things form, and it's like people just spend this tons of time on there. Um, Emily says, yes, connecting with the grass is crucial. Hug her true. Amen, Emily. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like you do have to like get out there and do this. And like that's one thing I found with these people I'm talking about, the people in the documentary, is they just got lost in this internet world, and next thing you know, it's like, I mean, they're quitting communication with their family. They're, sucked into this whole twin flame thing. And make no mistake, y'all, this is all about money. That's all it is. It started off as something innocent and cute, right? This particular, what we're looking at, follow the money. And they were so transparent about that too, which is what makes it even more shocking. Anyways, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with a few things. Roscoe says, I just have a little announcement to make. Never mind, I forgot. Well, he'll remember later, okay? He was just stirring around. Now, pardon me. Hold on. Pardon me. So what we're going to do is we're start off with, we're just going to look at the Netflix page for it for people who aren't familiar with this. Now, I'm not going to turn the volume on this because it's very tricky with how it flags the videos and stuff like that. Like Netflix is like real hardcore. They're like so hardcore. And let me see if I can find Twin Flames accused. Please hold. Well, I got to relook it up. Good Lord. You can't take me nowhere. I mean, nowhere. Well, go on. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me look it up over here. Okay, so I'm just going to go look this up. Netflix, Twin Flames. We're looking for that. Okay, let's get it pulled up. There's that. Okay, so we're going to do this. Let me go to share screen. We're looking to present. Yes, that is right. We're looking to share screen. Yes, tonight. Hold on now. Okay, please hold. Here we go. Share. Let me make sure you're seeing the same thing that I am. Where'd you go? Okay, so here we go. So this is just like the trailer to it. Just read the words on the screen because, again, I'm not going to turn this stuff up. And I'm going to kind of talk as we sharing this and get back to y'all. Okay, so side note before we talk about that. I was with somebody having like lunch or something like that, and this like family dude and like whoever walked in. When I tell you it stopped me in my tracks, this is me. I'm like, and I was like, don't look right now. And I couldn't think of the guy's name. And I'm like, who is that guy? The Warren, whatever, with the LDS, that he's in prison now. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all, when I tell you, it was him walking this restaurant, and my friend turned around, he was like, oh my God, that's so weird. I mean, could have been this man's brother. Y'all, it was so creepy. It was so creepy. Okay. So there's that. Anyways, okay, so Warren Jeffs, yes, thank you. Y'all, I swear to God, it looked just like the man. It was so weird. Okay. It was, and I haven't even thought about that. I'm like, is he even alive still, right? Okay, so you saw what we just looked at. Yes, so that's like the Netflix trailer to it and all that. So again, Jeff and Shalia, is that how you say that? Um, that's their names. Now the way they met is they were kind of chatting online, that type stuff. Now Jeff, and not Jeff Warren, but this Jeff, look at the connection, y'all. Okay, so he has always wanted to be like this guru, Bitcoin vibe dude. You know what I'm saying? He was selling cancer treatments at one point. We're gonna read some articles, stuff like that. So this was like the thing that stuck. Okay, This was like the thing, the grift that made money, right? And it worked for him, and so he ran with it. Now, one thing that's interesting about this, and again, however it works, um, he was so transparent about the money, and not just what they charged, but like, again, the way the Netflix documentary cut it. And so again, it's a documentary on Netflix, right? They're going to cut things the way they want to do it. They do have a bias. This is how this always goes with these things. So this is their side of the story. I will say that. Okay. Now, I'm not defending him, but we're just looking at it from both sides of the fence because that's just how it is what it is. But I mean, the amount of times that money is referenced in this, to him talking about his wife wearing Chanel, oh, clients gave us, baby Versace, how much money he has, money, 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 money around every corner. Okay. Then at one point when he decides, and this is just with 17 over the edge, and he says it in the documentary of, we're going to do this, we're going to make this a church. Um, you know, we're gonna make this a church so that we don't have to pay taxes and we can just get a bunch of volunteers to work instead of paying people. Those were his words. So then it takes this very religious tone. Now, my opinion, if you watch, I'm curious to know, I think the church part started as the grift to save more money and not pay taxes and do all that. Then he got so full of himself that the religion part and the belief in it came, like, it took over. So it was no longer just about saving the money. It was also, and I also think I'm God, type thing. Even though they'll say not, but all these jokes and references, the level of like narcissism and ego is through the roof. So it's almost like one fed the other type situation, if that makes sense. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to their website. If you want to kill some time, I highly suggest going to the website. Okay. Um, and let me find the website. I just had it up. Where is it? Okay, so we did this one. Let me just get rid of some screens up here. So we did that. Oh, here it is. Okay. So let me go back over here to share. Please hold. That's right. I said, please hold. Okay, where is it? Share screen. Yes, yes, yes. Share screen. Yep, yep, yep. And then we want to. Is it this one? Yes. Share. Let me make sure y'all are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay. Twin Flames Universe, illuminating the path home to love. So let's take a look at this. So here, obviously, this is the home page. Scroll down. I know you. I was just like you. I desire flame love. So this is her. This is, Shalia. I kind of go back and forth with her name saying that. But she's telling her this is her testimony. So you can have your love be like this too. And here's these again. Now, again, notice the middle picture, the Louis Vuitton bag, lots of content of the materialistic things that she has. So, whenever I see people, and there's nothing wrong with having fancy things and nice things, right? This is not bad. To each their own, okay? But the context in which they're done in this way, and now again, there's major spoiler alerts in here, y'all. If you're watching, so I'm just gonna say this because I'm getting ready to say something that's not revealed to the very end. So there's 3 episodes. So in the last episode, one of the victims is talking, and she's basically talking about how towards the end they started being like, "Look, we're gonna take 50% of this money, this coaching money." And so when you're sitting here and you're starting to question things and you're scraping by and you're seeing the people who are running the show talking about, I just got a new Louis bag, talking about, oh, somebody gave our kid Versace. It's not even here. The kid that's not even here yet. That's a whole other thing. Um, you know, you start to really get like, huh? Like what? they're making people buy stuff to look successful. All that type stuff is there. It's like you have so many different layers of culty stuff going on because you also have like a multi-level marketing vibe going on too, where you have to sit here and sign up for these courses, which we're going to look at them. Like if you want to be a coach and make money and stuff, you have to sign up for these courses and continually keep taking them. They're thousands of dollars, and of course there's this urge to find your twin flame and announce that and put it out there so that it's like, look, this works. We can suck you in and we can charge you money and you can go through the cycle, right? And so then once you're in that, well, you know how it is. If you've ever done any kind of, a multi-level marketing or done anything of that variety, when you get into it, it's like their own little world, right? And so you're in it, you're stuck in it, that becomes your world. Well, a lot of these people who are in this, it's like during COVID, whatever they're homebound type people and not homebound in a physical way. I mean, some of them could be, but like they just prefer like, they're loners, whatever. So it's this vacuum that they're in is what I'm trying to get at. Okay. So you see how this happens. And then you have Jeff and her, Shalaya, making all these rules, making all this type stuff up. And oh, hey, if you want to do this, you have to pay this money. You see the cycle that gets perpetuated, right? So there's that. Okay, now, please hold. So let's go back to the base. So this is them. We're not going to read through the whole story right now. The way they met up and the way, let's also say this, the way he will describe, number one, the way that he talks to her and about her will have your damn mouth on the floor. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's the way he just speaks of her. It's like this, I mean, at one point he's talking about, oh, I was afraid that, she gained weight. I wouldn't be into her, but, she's obviously gained weight over the years and I still like her. And you're like, who? And look at y'all. This is one thing that gets me when you hear men talk about women in a certain way like this, and then, like whether it's a couple or just in general, you can rest assured most of the time the dude is like literally nothing to write home about. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like literally nothing to write home about. So when I sit here and see some like scrawny little dude talking about, oh, well, I'm still into her, she gained some weight or whatever, I'm like, maybe she wants somebody with muscles. You know what I mean? Like maybe she wants that, but she's not going to say all that. You know what I mean? Like I felt bad for her on that level, right? Now, not too bad because she's just as much a part of this grift, in my opinion. Um, but nonetheless, looking at his behavior, there is a part of me that like my heart kind of goes out to her a little bit because I'm like, I think she's very stuck in a way with this dude. Now she, there is free will and she's still making these decisions and making people do a lot of bad stuff. Right. But, I just don't like to hear somebody get talked to like that. Right. So, but yeah, the things that he'll say to her is like, no, okay, like absolutely not. This would never fly. Or shouldn't fly in a regular situation. Anyways, let's keep going. Let me go back over here. So, she goes in here. I used to suffer from separation. My life is transformed, and he is her twin flame. She texted him one night and asked him, frisky, but not the that word, the H word for frisky. She's like, are you frisky? And it was just weird meeting up. Well, almost instantly they're this couple and run up and running, and he just kind of speaks of it again with just this level as this from this pedestal of almost like, yeah, she'll do. Yeah, he didn't say that. Those are my words, but that was the vibe of it. And then he just instantly fell in love, or she wanted to give him a tarot reading. Oh my God, I love tarot cards. And you're just like, oh Jesus, I need to buckle up. This is gonna be a long 3 hours. You just already know. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh my God, okay. So, anyways, so this is the page of them. Their communion. Ugh, I mean, just now look at, so here we are at the bottom. I don't know if you can see my mouse go over this. Harmonious twin flame union, HTFU, is a new conscious relationship and it starts within oneself. Just remember that because you can get certified in this. I know I cannot roll my eyes hard enough either at it. Now, so here's this. So there's all that. Okay. That's because what I offer is real. Now let's just go back up to the top real quick. So, now we're going to look at some of these twin flames. Okay. Now, before we do that, oh, wait, share. Wait, how do I do this? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm showing y'all the same page. I'm showing you the same page. Okay. So, hold on one second. Before we get into that, we're going to look at some of these twin flames. You're going to have questions. Okay. So, one of the things that comes up in the last episode of it is because they run into a business model situation, okay, of hold on, Roscoe. Hold on, Roscoe's getting acrobatic. On you want over here? Hold on. They run into a business model situation. Oh, Roscoe. Hold on, Roscoe. Well, buddy, we just had to fall off the sofa. Okay. Well, he just scooted on out of here. Okay, I'm sorry. So they run into a business model situation because eventually with a scenario like this, just ask yourself this. How many dudes do you think would be into this? Okay. How many guys do you think are going to sign up for this? You can imagine not many. Now, some dudes might get pulled into it, but once at a certain point when they made the decision that a twin flame can only be part of this group, okay, it cannot be someone outside of it, they are going to run into a business model scenario issue, right? Because how many dudes are going to sign up for this, right? You can barely get a dude to remember your birthday, right? You know what I'm saying? You think you're going to get a guy to sign up for this? Absolutely not. Okay. So they then have to find a way around this, okay? Which is they come up with this entire thing of divine masculine, divine feminine energy. So basically, they will start going to, and they decide at a certain point who your twin flame is. Remember, they start to take control over everything. Now, I'm kind of just jumping from bits and pieces from the doc here. You know what I'm saying? So just know that it goes in in an order if you're watching it. So I'm kind of jumping to the end here, but I want to say this because you're going to see these the twin flame people we're going to put up here, and you're going to have questions like, what? Yeah, what? Like, why is there a pattern here? So they, they have to basically go to all these women and be like, hey, look, you and so are twin flames. Well, of course, they are like, um, I'm not lesbian. And like, oh, no, it's not that. Your divine energy is your masculine. So it gets into this whole thing, okay, where they're basically, and they're saying they're not encouraging people to transition, but they're, it's a slippery slope, okay? And so they're going to basically pairing these people up and basically like putting two women together and saying one of you is feminine, one is you masculine, and that's just how it is, and that's what you're going to go with. And if you don't, then well, you're just this terrible person, and you have to go do all these little other courses and all these little exercises to clear the block up because you're the problem. So okay, just know that. Also, there's a thing called mirroring that they do. And this is one of the things in this that basically they do all the time or whatever. So mirroring would be like this right here. Like if I was like this, if I was like, oh, I hate it when so and so leaves their cup on the table. They would be like, Paul, this is really about you and that cup on the table. So I'd have to be like, I hate it when I leave the cup on the table. You mirror everything back to yourself and you go about it that way, if that makes sense. And so, like, if they approached us and we're talking about like with two women, like y'all are twin flames, and they were like, no, nope, didn't feel that way. They would be like, you need to go mirror this until you clear the block, okay? Because this is how it's going to be, and they would do it. Okay. They would do it. I was just like, this is part I was like, I was slamming these. I was throwing these back at that part. I was like, no. Okay, no, we are not doing this. So there's that. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, so twin flame union is a spiritual state wherein both twin flames are awakened to their twin flame connection and have mutually agreed to be exclusively committed to each other. In union, at least one twin flame is studying the teachings of union and actively engaged in the spiritual work of aligning their consciousness with love, with the goal of attaining their permanent harmonious union. So here we have, now some of these people are in the documentary. Okay. Um, the couple here, Jason and Chrissy, they're in it. Obviously Jeff and Shalia. And trying to recognize some of these other people. Okay, Kier, I think this one's Stephanie. I don't know if you can see it. Kieran and Stephanie. Stephanie has a twin sister who she abandoned, cut off. And I mean, her mom's in the documentary. Like, do not talk to me anymore. It's absolutely heartbreaking. It's like she already has a twin flame, right? So what happens is these people are encouraged. We don't know how many of these people have known each other for a while, and we'll talk specifically about one couple or one young lady who was in this, who. And where is this one person who I know she was in here so we can talk about them? Here she is. This couple, the lady at least was in it. And in a second, we're going to talk about them or, about the whole thing. So jumping back, another way to another part, whatever, is like there's this one girl in there who was rather young and she was basically paired up. I'm trying to remember how it went. Paired up with somebody started like talking to her in the chat or whatever. Okay. And at first, I thought they were going to say Jeff was pretending to be somebody to make it look like, oh, the program works. Look, see, you met this guy. And because she was having a problem finding her twin flame. Well, no, it wasn't Jeff. It was actually this dude. Well, he was back in, I don't know what state. He was in another state. He couldn't leave the state because he had caught some drug charges. And it was, I don't know, some kind of drug charge. Well, what Jeff and Shalia will make you do is they're like, this is your twin flame. He can't come to you. You move out there. You move in with him. Immediately you do this. Well, you can only imagine what comes from this, right? I mean, it's awful. So they pair her up with this guy. They end up getting together, doing all this type of stuff. You can only imagine the drama that comes from it. Imagine, I mean, just look at how tough relationships are to begin with. Imagine just literally moving in with somebody and talking about you're my soulmate after barely knowing them. So it's very scary in that way. Now, another dynamic we'll talk about here in a minute is the stalking. Okay, y'all. When it first started playing and they were talking about this of like, no, that's your twin flame. You need to write him. You need to let him know, go on out there. But I was like this in my head. I was like, wow, it's like they're training people to be stalkers. Y'all, by the end of the thing you're talking to people catching charges, all sorts of stuff over stalking. Okay. Because here's their answer. And this one young lady, let me see if we can find her. She got out, thank God, and she was in the documentary, but my heart really went out to her because there was a level. Well, we got an article on her. Please hold. So these are the couples here. They each have pages. You can take courses from them. And actually, let me see. I signed up from. Shit, this time it's up. Here we go. So let's talk about this. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over, but I get excited. And I mean, I'm just dying to talk to people about this. I'm sorry. Please, oh Lord. So Jason and Chrissy. Chrissy's like security. She was in the military, like all this stuff. So they met online in the TFU community and became friends while attending Live Twin Flame Ascension School. Okay. Y'all cannot roll my eyes hard enough. Got a damn school over it. You can imagine this is the next thing on the list. They'll be doing some loan forgiveness for these like scam schools and stuff like that. No, it's not accredited if you're even wondering. but they were doing life purpose classes, and at this time they were having false twin flame experience. Okay, now this is a whole other thing that they finally had to develop to answer why sometimes it doesn't work. So, anyways, they go on and go on and go on and learn more about them. So you can do these little things for each person. Has at least one twin flame red twin flames. Approximately how much of each other's love list do you match? 100%. How long have you known each other? Since 2019. Do you feel that you're both twin flames? Please share why you feel this way. Yes, we 100% we are twin flames. We met as live students, so on and so forth. Can you describe the spiritual healing? Have either of you healed through a false twin flame experience? Have you explored your life purpose together? Please share. Okay, so just keep this in mind because we're going to get up to the part here in a second where you can like sign up for classes and this kind of a thing. Okay, on that note, let's get into this. Remind me to come back to the thing about the girl who was stalking because there's an entire Vanity Fair article on her story. And I mean, this girl got arrested. Okay. I mean, it's that bad, like what they have you do. Okay. So let's go over here to the coaching thing and let me just check back in over here. And where are we at? Okay, where are we at? Here we are. Okay, so your ascension coach is the secret to unlocking the full potential of the teachings of union. Having the support of a highly trained professional to help guide you to navigate this journey is critical to your success. Remember, at the heart of this, all we're talking about is dating, okay? In my opinion, like literally dating, okay? Already, this right here, I'm like, to what? Like, why? Like, just swipe left or right. I mean, come on now, and I'm not trying to reduce it to just that, but I mean, come on, right? Please hold. Please continue to hold. Your call is important. Let me filleth my cup is back up witheth my mocha ith my cold mocha, my cold Starbucks mocha. Okay, so over here, FAQs. What makes and here's the things we're not going to get all of them. How do I know the teachings of union work? Do the teachings of union for blocks? Do you have testimonials? Well, and this questions being answered by my coach. What qualifies? Let's look at this one real quick. What qualifies the Ascension coaches to be able to support me? Oh my God. They are completed their certified Ascension coach, CAC or master certified coach Ascension training. Now remember this when we look at these courses because your mouth's going to fall on the damn ground. Okay. Literally on the ground. You're going to be like, what? So just keep this in mind. What if I can't afford it? Oh, trust me, they got a plan for that. As with the blocks to your twin flame union, blocks to money are healed in exactly the same way. Blocks are really just stuck energy. So if you're feeling a lack of abundance, the mirror exercise is the perfect way to begin. This is the go-to. This is the go-to. And if you heard the way he'll talk to some people, it's insane, okay? About like being poor minded and stuff like that. Now, right away, you're already talking about I can't afford it. Booking an introductory coaching session with an Ascension coach is a great way to find the perfect next steps for you on your personal journey. Your coach can help you to show you how to heal blocks to abundance so you can claim regular coaching support. Remember, this is a divine journey where God is calling you home to love. As such, you can trust that God will provide all the abundance you need to complete the journey. God is limitless, and so too is the love that awaits you. Most coaches offer very affordable group coaching classes, which begin at around $20 per week. This is a great way to start out your healing journey. One-to-one coaching sessions range in price from $75 to $200 per hour, depending upon whether you're working with a master or whatever. Your relationship with your Ascension coach is very important and personal to you, so take your time to find the perfect coach. So again, right into money. You already know they're going to suck you in with that $20 thing. And now here is the thing that they do about, the stuff. Now, here we're going to get into master certified ascension coaches. Okay. Now, just keep this in mind because we're getting ready to look at the prices of all this stuff. Notice the similar photos. Notice kind of the vacantness of the eyes. It's just like this. Hello, is anyone home? Type thing. and certified ascension coaches. So remember this one. I mean, Cringe. Y'all, we're talking like really bad realtor bus stop photos here, okay? I mean, let's just call it what it is. Okay. I mean, they have suckered these people out of every last dime and they have no regrets about it. Okay. I can't with a hand over the heart. I can't. I need to just get that off the page. Okay. So look at how many people are here, all probably striving to get to that next level. Okay. Okay. So where are we at? We are over here. Okay. Now, just out of sheer curiosity, where they go? Let's just pick. Let's go back here. Let's pick her. Okay, I just clicked on somebody, so we're going to read their page. Jenny Langley, Healing the Heart with Unconditional Love. Exploration, meditation, twin flames, let's talk. So this is her page. Invisible kisses. Okay, so 30-minute card reading or session, $55. 1 hour session, one-time payment, $99. 4 weekly 1 hour sessions, monthly subscription, $333. My God. Twin flame ascension coaching. And it goes into the twin flame thing, all this stuff. And then the prices, and then be relentless in your looking because you're the one you seek. So there's that. Okay, now let's go back over here. Okay, so let's go back up to products. Now I'm going to share this tab instead. Now this is the part, y'all, go ahead and buckle your damn seatbelts up over this, okay? Because, I mean, it gets crazy. Okay, the promise of dreams is that they come true. Okay. Now, the book is a major thing they're going to start you off with, okay? Kindle, $9.99. Paperback, $17.99. Audible. I would almost bet you $100 that he is the one who reads it on Audible. Damn near the point that I'm going to go over to Audible, just to see. Watch tomorrow and be talking about I got a twin flame. If y'all see a community post tomorrow talking about I found my twin flame, I'm moving, it got me. It got me. Okay. It's like I've been going along all these 40-some years, but they took me out right here. Okay. Twin flames. Yep, here we go. Sample.
How many Disney movies are about finding true love?
No.
Walt Disney knew something genuine.
Can you hear it?
When he made all those movies, which continue to inspire so many people.
It actually sounds like an AI voice. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the AI voices that does it. Okay. So the book is major. Twin flame healing meditations. Attract your twin flame and experience deep healing and relaxation quickly. Okay. Toronto Talks Workshop. Witness 3 real twin flame couples come into harmonious union live. It feels naughty, right? Like it sounds slippery, I don't think I want to see that. You know what I'm saying? But let's click learn more because we're investigating. We asked 100 of our students to describe what Toronto Talks is for them. Here's what they said. So, of course, it's them up there talking and whatnot and doing this whole twin. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me share this tab episode. Sorry. So this is the Toronto Talks page, and it's them like holding these talks. Again, it's just another dreams can come true. $111, 4-part HD series videos, averaging an hour each. Buy now. So there's that. Okay. Romance and Sedona workshop. Share this tab instead. We asked students what the Romance and Sedona workshop means to them. This is what they had to say. This workshop was incredible for self reflection. Day one of the workshop focused on our relationship with the divine. Um, I cannot with this. I cannot with this last picture. This one's going to take me out. I feel like it showed me clearer than ever how to do my part in building a heaven. It's amazing. So, I mean, 123 4-part video series. Okay. Romance Attraction e-course, $333. Now these are just basic, one-time products, right? And so here you go. And again, it's probably just like a video series, but let's see. 8 individual video lessons averaging 18 minutes each, so $333. Okay. Now, Sermons of Life Purpose class. $555, all of their best work from Life Purpose class distilled into one powerful product. Now, remember how I told you the coaching and all that type stuff? If you want to be a coach and you want to make it up that level, oh, you're paying for all this, right? You're going to be doing all this right here, okay? You have to take all these classes, okay? And be doing all this type stuff. So you see how that definitely benefits the people at the top. Okay. So here we go into this. And again, it's just this 49 sermons, 15 hours of video, $555. Okay. Dreams come true. Dreams do come true. We asked 100. All of them start off with we asked 100 students. Okay. And again, here's this. It's just, crash course. So one-time payment of $777 or for 24 individual video lessons, about 13 minutes each. I mean, seriously. Installment plan, $333, 3 monthly payments. So do the math on that. I mean, they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you any way they can. Oh wait, I forgot to share the tab. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. Now we're at Sermons of Twin Flame Ascension School. So this is the school. My favorite thing about sermons from Twin Flame Ascension School is that they are small bite-sized chunks of the larger TFAS classes, but not just any bite-sized chunks. They're packed with full to the brim with love. I mean, $888, 55 sermons over 25 hours of video. Whenever I have a block in my union and I don't know what it is, I always receive a perfect solution answer in the sermons. With them, my relationship with my twin flame becomes more and more harmonious, and my relationship with myself blossoms on a whole new level. It's really wonderful to see how it helped me feel so much more powerful in my inner healing. The sermons work like magic. I mean, here's the things. I mean, again, it's like the monetization of just a relationship. If you were to have an argument with your whoever, it would be like, well, go on and pay $800 and we can clear that block. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just walk it off, talk it out. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just okay. Now, okay, this is actual school. So share this. And let me just check in over here with everybody real quick. Okay, where are we at? Here we go. So the Twin Flame Ascension School. Before Twin Flame Ascension School, I was in union with my twin, but our life was miserable because we didn't know how the twin flame relationship actually works. We tried to be together like soulmates, which resulted in a rapid accumulation of upsets, followed by physical separation. I couldn't understand how it could be that we loved each other so much, but we couldn't stay together for more than a few weeks to months. We just didn't know how to handle all the triggers. Since TFAS, I know what inner work really is and what the journey is really all about. Now, here's another thing I have a question. Who has time for all this? Who has time for all this? It's literally like getting into a relationship, and on day 2, you start intense relationship counseling. And it's like maybe like this is a lot. This is a lot. This is what I'm talking about. You're not going to see too many dudes willingly jump into this, right? And I'm not trying to say that in any such way, but you see how they end up in this scenario where they have more females that are, involved, and now they're like, oh, well, we don't have any guys for the girls, you know. Um, it's just, again, I see how it all just happens. You know what I'm saying? How it arrived there. Okay, where are we at? So this goes on, and then down here, I mean, it just keeps going on. But here's where you get into now. Here's join the Twin Flame Ascension School. Now you are 100% going to be doing this if you want to be a coach. Okay, one class pass, $3,333 one time payment. You know there are people in serious debt over this that do not have this money, putting it on a credit card, something, right? I mean, look at all the people. You can start calculating the money. Now remember, when they don't, the lesser people they have coming into the fold, that means they have to start keep exploiting the people they already have there, which is how they arrive at things like, we're going to take 50% of the money and all this. So, all class pass is 300 plus 90-minute classes. That's $4,000. Best value, of course. Then you can upgrade. Now, none of this made sense to me, and we literally had to break it down in the members chat the other day where I was like, okay, help me out here. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, none of this made sense to me. I just knew it was a lot of money. Okay, now let's go to the next thing. Life purpose. So here you go. So again, just more stuff, life purposes, yada yada. Again, one-time payment, $3,000 installment plan. And there's that. Okay, now let's go to the final thing. So the everything package. Okay, share this tab instead. Everything package gives you access to all the products. So if you want to do every single thing, so what's included? 9 individual products, 650 hours of video content, 400-hour classes averaging 90 minutes, 30 plus e-course lessons with the exercise, 2 4-part workshops, 3-part guided meditation. And here's all the stuff right here. $8,888. Y'all, can you imagine? Remember, this is all about finding your special someone and then maintaining the relationship. 10 grand. Okay. Must be nice. You know what I'm saying? That's so good. Those cold drinks from Starbucks, so good, y'all. Okay. Let's go back to the thing. So these are the products. Free. Strong foundations are built on true love. Free Twin Flame Ascension introductory course. I did not sign up for that because I just don't even want to get but some people said they were going to. So there's free stuff on here. So if you do visit, check it out. Let's see if the blog will go into anything. Twin Flames and Trauma Bond. Oh my God. November 18th. That's today. Your Twin Flame unit is supported by the angels. We have to click this. Okay, we have to click it. Oh, wait. So we're in the blog now at Twin Flames and Trauma Bond. This was published today. Hold on, Roscoe, come here. Come here, buddy. I know. It's very confusing for you. You don't know why we're all tucked in. Lay down. It's okay. In this blog, you'll get clarity on a little bit about twin flames. What is trauma and its reason? What is trauma bond? What's the difference between a real twin flame relationship versus a trauma bond? What are addictions? So on and so forth. I mean, my gosh, you can heal too. Twin flame sexual trauma healing. Oh, Jesus. I don't know what to say. Some of these people you can recognize, like I'm seeing this person in the blue. I don't think she's part of it anymore. I think this is an older picture. Join the open forum. Oh my god. Hold on, y'all. Oh no. I don't. Oh no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. We're not. No. 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 We don't want to get all up in it. How does one? So you see it, all this stuff here, right? Okay. Now let's go back up here. Okay, so let's do this now. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment of silence. We're gonna go look at an article now. Okay, we're gonna go look at an article. And this is gonna be about one of the people. Pardon me. This is gonna be about one of the people who she's in the documentary and she's talking, and to me she represents probably what a lot of the people who are in this go through, because you can kind of tell with her talking and she's looking back on her experience, right? She's out of it, she saw the light, that type thing. Well, she's some kind of a scientist, and so obviously she's going to be of that frame of mind, you know what I'm saying, like um that type thinker, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So but she's talking about the process of getting sucked in. Now she's the one who ended up getting like charges put on her and had the cops called on her, you know, and it was like her ex-boyfriend. Basically, it was like her ex or somebody like that. And Jeff and Shalia were basically like, that's your twin flame. And this is a common story of they might basically say, no, your ex is your twin flame. And if they don't know it, but you have to make them see it. I mean, it's very unhealthy. Okay. And they will have these people um go continue forth, right? Um, towards these people. And I mean, you can imagine somebody starts hitting you up talking about you're my twin flame. And you're like, no, no, thanks. I'm busy Friday night. You're my twin flame, and sending you this crazy stuff. You're gonna eventually be like, I'm getting the cops involved. You know, there's that. Okay. So do with that what you will. Now, we're not going to go through, this is a huge article. Okay. Um, Huge article, so we're not going to read the whole thing at all. But I definitely highly suggest visiting it if wait, here we are. If you are interested in continuing, because it's very well written and it's just interesting. So please, I'll present, share screen, share screen, Vanity Fair, share. Let me make sure you're seeing the same thing that I am. There you are. Okay. Now, first of all, just the title of it alone. Everywhere I went, they went with me because they were on my phone. Inside the always online, all consuming world of Twin Flames universe. And this is a huge thing. Again, this all comes down to, in my opinion, of our human need for love, for companionship, for community, you know, for belonging. That's the best word for it. For belonging. This thing that we have within us that we want to belong to someone, to something of that nature. Okay. Now, for people that might not have access, or that are, you know, whether it's you work from home or you have social phobia, so you stay inside, or when we were in the lockdowns, whatever it was, okay. Um, Basically being, you know, just shut in all the time. You can see where this just kind of compounded, right? And so again, I'm not going to read this entire thing because it's very long. This picture is absolutely creepy, okay? So Katie woke to the sound of waves, and we'll skip that part. So the twin flame rejection, Twin flame rejection. The video title read, "A woman with many pigtails and rosy cheeks sat shoulder to shoulder with her husband. They spoke about what it was like to be separated from your twin flame. The person created by God is your divine counterpart. There's nothing outside of you that prevents you from being with your love," the man said. "Only you." Now, here's the thing. So, this is this concept that you can see where it's this idea that there's only one of these people out there. There's only one person. This is your person, and somehow you are the blockage to that happening. So, and this is what they did with her, which it was like it was her ex or something like that, you know. And a lot of people would say this is how they discovered twin flame universes. It was like going through a breakup or something would happen to where almost like, see, you get dumped and you're like, what? Why? I don't understand why this happened. And you start Googling some of this stuff, and twin flame universe comes up, and you're like, what? Um, so there's that. So let's go back over here. Okay. And where is over here? Okay, there it is. Sorry. All right. So let's scroll back down. Twin flame gurus were easy to find on YouTube. 2017, they popped up amid videos on astrology, tarot, healing crystals. I'm just going to be skipping through this or whatever. Their videos attract tens of thousands of views, occasionally more than 150,000. They also had a private Facebook group, which currently has more than 14,000 members, and classes on Google Hangouts 4 times a week. Students shared their relationship problems while Jeff and Shalia extracted sublime truths about their hopes and traumas. Subscriptions to the full run of this therapeutic reality show and its offshoots currently cost $4,444. The appeal of Twin Flames universe was that you could have what Jeff and Shalia apparently had, what Shalia called a deep level of oneness, a harmonious twin flame union. Let's keep going. So this is going into Katie's story or whatever. It says at one point, Katie told him, this is her talking to Jeff, "My twin flame won't talk to me and thinks I'm crazy," and has told all his family members. "He doesn't love me," Jeff echoed in a mocking, high-pitched voice. As the session continued, Katie cried and lashed out and giggled and stared blankly. None of it seemed to satisfy Jeff. Exhausted, she grew quiet. "She'd made progress," Jeff said, noting that when Katie watched the video later, "You're going to see 49 minutes of you getting better and better." Jeff and Shalia confirmed what she already suspected. Her ex was indeed her twin flame. Perhaps Katie was holding herself back, they suggested. Her pain was rooted in the reality that she chose to create, and health issues could stem from one's current thinking or past life behavior. Your body is an extension of your mind, meaning your mind is primary and your mind creates the body, Jeff told Katie in one class. Not food or exercise, added Shalia, or medical care, said Jeff. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in this case right here is she was with somebody, she got in a car wreck, had some pretty severe medical issues from it, and essentially this person left her during this time. This is the person they want her to get back with. Okay. I'm like, oh, sounds like a real winner. That's the part you can't roll your damn eyes hard enough. It's like, well, girl, he showed you who he was, right? He left you during a time of this. Now there could have been other stuff going on, but nonetheless, it's like he showed you his true colors. You don't want this man, okay? You don't you don't want this man. I mean, you just, it no. And not no, okay? So, here we go. So there's just remember that, right? Here's the back of her. Part of her sense it might be a scam, but she was willing to try anything. A statuesque blonde with a throaty laugh. She had moved to the Bay Area after earning 2 undergraduate science degrees. For years, she spent her days in a university DNA lab and her evenings listening to techno records. She did yoga, went to clubs, festivals, raves. She met her ex at Burning Man. Katie is not her real name. They were nearly together for 2 years. It's just going to the back part of the relationship. She got a car accident, medical leave, disability, surgeries, and pain. They broke up. After her third spine operation, she was still struggling to walk normally. According to testimonials in the Facebook group, Twin Flames Universe yielded peaks beyond romance. Students shared stories of miraculous transformations. Some made money, found new careers, healed their depression. So there's also money tied into it because when you're doing this whole scheme of like bringing other people in, which they're also asking you to go out to like trauma based like groups on Facebook and real people in. Now, at the bottom of this section here, of that first section, it says, still other followers found harder paths to their perfect partners. Some discovered that their twin flame was of a sex they didn't usually date. Others who identified as male or female announced that that was not really the case. They changed their names and pronouns, bought new wardrobes, and came in out to their families and colleagues. They were eager to explore the divine genders that Jeff and Shalia had confirmed through God. Okay, so Jeff and Shalia are telling you what you're gonna be, and then being like, "Oh, well, no, you're divine masculine. You need to cut your hair and do A, B, and C." But he clearly states at one point, and like the part that I said about they're going to run into a business model plan, upset. I mean, he doesn't really hide this. That's the thing. It's like very transparent of, oh, we're going to run out of men. We need to come up with something. And then miraculously, this comes. So there's that. They also have other businesses. So underneath, so I'm just going down to the next thing where it says long before COVID. It says today the followers order meal plans through Jeff and Shlea's startup Divine Dish, attend Sunday service at their Church of Union, and resolve trauma and mind alignment process sessions. It coaches help its coaches help recruit new clients via Facebook ads and community outreach. Okay, so all these other things like MAP is this process that they do that, of course, costs money for certain. Like it's almost like if the mirror's not working, it's almost like, girl, we're gonna have to map this out. I'm saying, like, girl, you need a map, type thing. Now, the Divine Dish is another thing they do where basically they don't even send you food; they just tell you the recipes to cook, and you got to pay for it. Um, you know, so underneath the church, the nonprofit church, they have for-profit businesses. How that works, I do not know. Okay. Um, so this next paragraph, let's jump down to here. Everywhere I went, they went with me because they were on my phone, one former member told me. Over time, Katie started spending more time online and video calls all day. Her twin flames friends spanned the globe. They were doctors, business owners, stay-at-home parents, students. Most were single. They shared memes and past traumas in group chats. Twin Flames Universe would eventually include a sales team, a media team, vice presidents, HR. It had flexible hours and like-minded colleagues. And just as any other ideological and passionate startup, Katie, who would eventually become a coach herself, hoped she would be saving the world while making a profit. Okay, now right here, she spent around 10 grand on classes. So let's just pause there for a minute and just talk. Um, oh, thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. You're so sweet. Thank you. These people out there. I don't know. So here's the thing about the religious part to it. Literally, they just made the religious part up as a way to like get free work. That came secondary. The religious stuff came after that. Now, personally for them, I don't know if they brought their own personal religion into it. She seems very tarot, crystal card, that type thing. And he seems like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Um, just like just whatever's gonna pass by. Um, and oh, Christy, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the last. My apologies for telling you here, but didn't know what I go and try live tomorrow. Oh my god, that's awesome. I'll check it out. Is it under your profile here, Chrissy? I'm so proud of you for finally starting it. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And thank you for the super chat. And here's my email, Chrissy, or to anybody, but hold on, reporting live from my sofa at gmail.com. Send me the link if you don't mind. There you go. Wait, reporting live from my sofa at gmail. Yeah. Oh, thank you, old soul. I know it does sound like a Nancy Brovey novel. God, I wonder what she's up to. Um, thank you. I appreciate it also. We do need to see what she's up to. We might have to look that up. Hold on. I'm gonna hold on. Oh, no. Let me take a picture of this real quick. Okay. So the church part of this came after the fact, right? It was literally after the fact, okay? Um if they brought their own personal thing into it, I don't know. I doubt it. Okay, I don't get that vibe. Um, but yeah, they were, and again, it shows clips of him talking about this. Now, again, was I there? Was I in the editing room to see how they edited this together? No, you know. But nonetheless, it just wasn't like this real hidden type thing, right? Um, so there's that. Let's go over to the next thing. Okay. Okay, so let me do this. So I'm going to share this in Seb. So we're switching gears to another article. Now, let me see if it's the same writer here. Okay, so Sarah Berman, now she's with Vice. She did this investigation into it. She is in the documentary. Apparently, there's another one on Prime as well, or something like that. The Netflix one is the one she's in. So, accused cult leader threatened ex members after Vice investigation. Former students of Twin Flames Universe received letters threatening to reveal very uncomfortable information if they didn't take back their claims. Now, as you see with most of these situations, pardon me, when these things happen, it's like the owners come out and the owners, like the leaders, whatever you want to call them, they're going to come out in full force, right? And in fact, one thing that was interesting is he basically made everybody do a major research paper as to why he wasn't a cult leader. And the girl said once they started doing that, they kept finding evidence as to why he was a cult leader. Remember, they're coming from the place of mind of they're in it, they don't see it for what it is, they're in it. You know what I'm saying? And so it started helping, like this, particularly this one girl's testimonial. This is what helped her realize, oh wait, this isn't normal. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just funny that that was like part of his, not downfall, but the falling apart of this or whatever. So anyways, there's that. So of course they're going to come out against people. They send their flying monkeys out, to try and take people out and all that kind of stuff. So there's that. Let's scroll down. And YouTube spirituality school accused of exploiting its members has sent former students a letter threatening them with imminent lawsuits, police investigations, bankruptcy, jail time, and the publication of very, very uncomfortable info. Days after Vice published an investigation into the workings of Twin Flame Universe, an online life coaching community that promotes fringe ideas about love, its leaders sent out a letter to ex members threatening life ruining consequences for speaking out about family separations, unpaid labor, and the host of other cult like practices. And then it goes into, they're saying that Shalaya and Jeff claim to cure post-traumatic stress disorder, cancer, other medical conditions with a special mind alignment therapy. They told Vice students paid thousands of dollars for access to Twin Flame videos, and in some cases were coached into violating restraining orders, cutting off their parents unless they sent money, and working long hours for free. I mean, again, just classic cult type behavior, that just over time continues to escalate and get worse, not specifically with them, I mean with them, but other things too. So then it says a letter signed by the founders who previously went by the names Ender something and Megan Plant. Megan's her real name, and I guess Ender, he's had some other names and stuff. They call these account lies spread by anti-twin flames hate group, though filled with legal jargon. The cease and desist is not signed by a lawyer. So it goes on and on and on. Now let's go over to here too. Well, first of all, let me get rid of some of this stuff. One thing I do want to do is show y'all. Let's go over here. I'm just getting rid of some stuff right now because I have so many tabs open. Okay, that and that. Okay, we are going to look at their YouTube video. Not their video, their page. Please hold. Where are we at? We're at present. We're going to share the screen. We're going to share the screen. We're going to do this. Hold on. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? We are going to share. We're going to make sure y'all seeing the same thing that I am. Okay, so here we are. Twin Flame Teachings Guide Your Home to Love. So they've got right at 30,000 subscribers, 268 videos. They, Jeff and Shalia, are the pioneers who coined the term and are leading the way to permanent harmonious twin flame union. Ready to fall in love for the last time? Claim your former divine romance by getting your free twin flame introductory course here. I mean, they are literally zero chill about it. Okay, so this is like, it looks like they don't really post that much over here anymore, but twin flames, attract your twin flame, lots of, with the sex word in it. I'm spelling it out because I don't want it to mess up the video. Now there's a whole other thing too. We're going to talk about her baby situation. I don't know if she currently has a child or not, but we'll talk about that in a second. Her current status, and that was a big thing. Obviously, you see all these videos on it, right? Creative expression, claiming union, meet us in Sedona. It's just a healthy relationship trick. I'm sure, well, the twin flame signs line, when to call it quits. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And these are just very YouTubey videos. I mean, it's just, what I'm saying? Like the clickbaity kind of titles and that type of stuff. An ode to Twin Flame Ascension School. I mean, my God. It's so cringy. I mean, I cannot with this. Just creepy as hell. Okay, so let's just stop sharing that one. Okay, so you see the vibe, right? It's like, yeah. I mean, come on now. Okay, so another girl here. It said that on the last episode that Grace was born in April 2020. Okay. So this is where, so I'm literally a few minutes before finishing the thing. 2023 Grace was born. Okay, thank you. So they basically at one point start talking about, well, we have 3 twin flames, and their third one is this baby girl that they are trying to bring into the universe, but like by bringing the energy in, it's hard to explain. She had some miscarriages, that's not good, right? I mean, you don't wish that on anybody. Essentially, they like utilize a child in the pregnancy to just continue the grift, right? And so there's like one part where he's like showing off Versace baby clothes. It's the money part to it. How much he brags about money is gross. Okay, it is so gross. It's like literally like tell me like literally like you just won the lottery or something. I mean it's so tacky, right? So hold on. Sorry, I'm dying. Um, Here's the thing. Wait, I lost my thought. What were you talking about? The money part. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. I lost my thought. But the money. Oh, the baby. So they're talking about it, and like one person was saying, like, if you did anything wrong or you were causing Shalia stress, he would be like, you're harming Shalia, which means you're killing Shalia, which means you're killing Grace. Shalia needs to rest. And the girl was like, Shalia needs to rest. What does she do? That's all she ever does is rest. It's like all the time needing to like sleep and rest. And this is, I didn't even know she was pregnant at the time. Ouch. But that's what it was. So apparently she has had the child. God bless them. I mean, y'all, it's one thing for me watching it, and I'm curious for those who watched it, specifically a Netflix one. Okay, when I was watching this, the whole time I'm trying to think to myself, and I'm watching her behavior, Shalia, because for me, I'm sitting here thinking, how much is who's driving the ship here is what I'm getting at. Yeah, because some of the stuff she would kind of go along with, like the money talk, with him being like in one part, he was like, when I first came here, I found Shalaya, living out of her car or whatever, talking about how poor and broke down she was. And it's like, and now here she sits before you, decked down in Chanel. And she's like, oh, thank you. I did well for myself. It's just bizarre to where I'm like, how much of this is she going along with? How much of it is almost like blink twice if you need our help? You know what I'm saying? Um, that type thing. Now, obviously, she's going along with it enough to be causing harm to these people and whatnot, right? I mean, everybody spoke like it's both of them, but it just in these scenarios, because he has such this strong, like domineering personality with her at times, which you would not guess out looking at him, it's just like, okay, well, what goes on behind closed doors, because here's the thing, how like the old saying, like if you see people who are like always trying to say a certain thing or be a certain way, like if you see someone on Facebook talking about like I have the happiest relationship and all this type of stuff, you probably something's going on, you know what I'm saying? So with the pardon me, so with this, where they're all like, oh, our harmonious flame and we're twin flames, and like, they probably fight like cats and dogs behind closed doors. What couple doesn't? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's been together for a long time. Like, they're gonna have a meltdown over something simple. So, Calamity Jane Doe said he's in control. She has a story to tell. See, I get that vibe. Because there's just this blankness with her, and so there's this level to where I'm like, you know, and again, remember, he's someone who it was whatever grift was going to work, and this worked. He made money from this. He obviously has power and money. So this grift worked, and they stuck with it and ran with it, and it's done well for them, obviously. I mean, they've made a lot of money off of it. Come here. Ouch. Um, Hold on, kind of like Chad and Lori, depending on the day of the week. I think yeah, they could probably kind of go back and forth. Also says kind of like Chad and Lori, depending on the day of the week, who I think the leader is. And see, that's how, yeah, when I was watching this, I went back and forth with it, because there'd be times where he was trying to tell her at one point when they're showing video clips of their YouTube stuff. And so one of them, they're showing a former video of one of their videos about the miscarriage. And he's trying to say a medical term, and she's saying, no, the doctor told me this. And he's like, yeah, well, it's this. And she's like, no, we're going to go with what the doctor said. And this is what the doctor told me, and really kind of called him out. And I was like, oh, yeah, he's the type that he's going to tell you. He knows more than the doctor. He read an article on Google, so he knows. You can't tell him nothing. You know what I'm saying? That type personality. Now, other times she'll interject with him, and like that one thing that we saw where it's like, would you be quiet and let the man speak? I'm not trying to be controlling. I'm not trying to be this way. It's just you're uncomfortable and you need to sit with it. Go mirror. Good. you know. Um, Yeah, Nunya says there are some videos where she does look uncomfortable or coerced. She's awful too, but he's awful to her. Yes, exactly. And so that's where it kind of stirs up these mixed feelings, because like when I saw him like telling, like cutting her down, or like the comment that he made about like, I was nervous I wouldn't be attracted to her. She got big, and well, look at her now, and I still like her. You know what I mean? And you're like, you know what I'm saying? You can't help but it's like, if he's gonna say this in front of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is he saying to her behind closed doors? You know, Clearly he has a personality of he can get people to do what he wants. This swaying personality. Excuse me. And Bonsai says, I'm watching the last episode. The way they mess with these people's gender identity is insane. Oh my God. That part sent me over the edge. I mean, because again, and Bonsai, hello, first of all. I don't know if you're here earlier when we were talking about, but you've seen it. So you know how basically, like, they ran into this issue where they have mostly women. So they had to come up with a solution for it. They already came up with a solution to save money and get people to work for free. And that was, let's make a church. So it all kind of goes hand in hand. Now, remember, Jeff and Schley are the only ones that can get answers as to who is a twin flame, who is really a masculine or feminine energy, and all this type stuff. So it all has to come from the top, you know. So it's just icky. And then the real part of it is you're hearing from parents and stuff who have lost their children to this, who have their children have cut them off. They don't talk anymore, you know, and these parents, these mothers are desperate to see their baby girl, the twin sister, they just want to see it and no, go away. It's, go away. You're not part of my energy, and you just hope that these people can see the difference because this will continue to escalate. This will continue to go. Now, towards the end, he was talking about that, oh, we're going to buy this $1 million meeting hall and we're going to live in it. And I'm like, here you go. We're already on the way to some horrible outcome. You know what I'm saying? But at its center, which is just what's so sad, because this is the thing, if you stand away from this and you're like, this is about finding your true love, basically. Why would these people in their right mind think that it has to be within this group? They've literally made a multi-level marketing out of finding your true love, and are trying to deliver the results. And these people get with these people who they don't really feel a certain way, but then it's like, well, you need to like do this, and we're gonna make a whole thing for you. Make a big deal out of it, and it's just awful. So you know so that in essence is escaping twin flames. So it's it's just sad, and I hope that people can get out of it. Now, like I said, I am going to be kind of going through the video and like the Netflix one, pulling some clips out and then doing a thing on it and kind of talk about some of these articles in a condensed, what do you call it, video or whatever, edited one. So, just be on the lookout for it. You don't get this free stream of thought like you get with me live if you just want to get to the point of it. You know. Oh, so let's see here. Oh, hey Jamie, thank you. But Jeff was so obviously getting off on control and power. I think these people's lives were so empty when they found twin flames. It became the only thing they had and didn't want to lose. And Bonsai, this 100% I agree. So Bonsai, it says Jeff was so obviously getting off on control and power. I think these people's lives were so empty when they found twin flames. It became the only thing they had and didn't want to lose. And yeah, 100%. I think that they met these people. A lot of these people have the same story of they were in a traumatic moment in life and something happened, whether a breakup, something, there was some kind of trauma, some kind of something. They were at a weak part in their lives. And then they came together with Twin Flames Universe. And it was the worst thing that probably could happen to them. And that's just what happened, and they got sucked into it. And some of them just kind of went down the whole thing. And yeah, when you become that and get into it, it's like it's your world, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what these are your friends. Everything's based around it. Because these people, they'll talk about being on chats almost 12 hours a day. I mean, it's literally their life, and a lot of it they're doing for free because they're getting exploited by Jeff and Shalia or whoever's running the show behind the scenes. Hold on, I might sneeze, y'all. Hold on. Okay, never mind. It was thinking about it. So
I don't know. But it was an amazing documentary in that. So just be on the lookout for it. Now, I have also started watching, and let me get the name of it real quick. We might meet up next week to talk about this one when I get more into it. Let me find it real quick. Please hold. Please continue to hold. Your call is important to us. Escaping from flames. Um, Till murder do us part. It's another series on there. I'm not sure if anyone else is watching it, but it's very interesting so far. So if you're looking for the next one, watch that one. I'm going to work on the video this coming week or whatever, and then maybe get it out to the next thing, or next week sometime or whatever. So that being said, a couple of things. Don't forget, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's down at the bottom of the thing, reporting live from my sofa one. Merch and all that type stuff is in the descriptions. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you are, because this is a separate channel than the main channel. Pardon me. So just make sure you're subbed over here. I will make the announcement on the other one on the main channel, because I don't go live that often over here. I'm trying to get better about it. And wouldn't mind doing this right here of coming to talk about things like Netflix. Now, a lot of times what you'll find over here is like if a trial's popping off, we'll go live over here and talk about it, but I'll always announce it on the main channel. So there's that. Also, let's give a shout out to Miss Emily, our moderator, our in sofa house moderator. Greatly appreciate it. She's a wonderful human being. I had the honor of meeting her at CrimeCon, and God willing, we'll be seeing her in Nashville next year. And Mr. Roscoe would like to say, "Why did y'all keep me up? I can't believe you." He gets saucy. That's all. Anyways, I love y'all. Thank you for hanging out and talking. I gotta run. It's way past our bedtime here at the sofa. So that's it. I am working on. I did a video on Tim Ferritter's sentencing, and so I just had to finish watching it. And I'll hopefully have it uploaded in the morning. So because that was a whole other like, whoa, Mama Jama, he really got away lucky on that one. Anyways, thank you. I love y'all. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful weekend if we don't talk, and a wonderful holiday next week if we don't talk. But I'll be on the tubes. I'll be on the instas. Yeah, I'll be out touching grass. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon, alligator.